Wednesday, Jhams. Welcome to day 2, to our second day of keynote and worship and games and fun and talking and all the things we do together. We're so excited to be here. I'm Jessica, the director, if you missed my introduction yesterday, of Jhams. I've done this conference a number of times and it's so exciting every time we do it, and so I'm so grateful to be here with you. I'm glad you're here too. Reminder to have your stone and your marker ready for later on when the many introduce us to our activities today. And reach out to your youth leaders or to me via the Jhams email, jhams@ac.org is our website, which you can check out different information there. But jamsyouthconference@gmail.com is our email address. So if you need anything at all, please reach out to me at the email address and I will be in touch. I hope that you're having a great day and that you had fun with us yesterday, and I look forward to what our day holds as we gather together. I hope you do too. Peace.
Hello again. Just a reminder, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Leslie.
I'm Darren. And together, we are the many.
It was really cool hanging with you yesterday, and we are looking forward to hanging with you today through this video and through the comments. If you want to say hello in the comments right now, go for it.
Yes, I want to trust in my heart of hearts that your love is here. Oh, I want to rest in those strong arms. Yes, I want to trust in my heart of hearts that your love is here. So I will sing, your love is here, and it's greater than our doubts. Your love is greater than our fears. Sing, your love is here, and it sees our broken hearts, and somehow it can heal. Your love is here. Yeah. I am scared. I am scarred. There is so much I cannot believe. They say is like a river. Your mercy will wash over me. Oh, I want to rest in your strong arms. Yes, I want to trust in my heart of hearts that your love is here. Oh, I want to rest in your strong arms. Yes, I want to trust in my heart of hearts that your love is here. So I will sing, your love is here, and it's greater than our doubts. Your love is greater than our fears. Yes, I will sing, your love is here, and it sees our broken hearts, and somehow we can heal. Your love is here. We don't have to be strong. We don't have to be sure. We don't have to be right. We don't have to see any blinding lights. We don't have to be strong. We don't have to be sure. We don't have to be right. We don't have to see any blinding lights. We don't have to be strong. We don't have to be sure. We don't have to be right. We don't have to see any blinding lights. We can just be. So we will sing, your love is here, and it's greater than our doubts. Your love is greater than our fear. Yes, we will sing, your love is here, and it sees our broken hearts. And somehow we can heal. Your love is here, your love is here, and it's greater than our doubts. Your love is greater than our fears. Yes, we will sing, your love is here, and it sees our broken hearts. And somehow we can heal. Your love is here. Your love is here.
Now let's take a couple minutes to breathe and get centered and remember our shared agreements.
Yesterday, we talked about how any place could be sacred space, and how one of the ways people in the Bible used to help them remember that was by marking sacred spaces with rocks or stones, spaces where they felt especially close to God. And one of the ways we make space sacred is by how we act and respond to others and to God and to ourselves in that space.
So, let's remember our 2 agreements for our time together. First, we will be kind and respectful. Second, we will be as present as we can be. We'll try to be open to what's going on here, to each other, to the presence of God, and what feelings and thoughts might come up. We'll be brave enough to be present even if we're doing something we might not have done before.
If you've collected any stones, could you get them now? Let's each make a personal commitment right now to let this be a sacred space. And as we do that, we'd invite you to create a little pile of stones on your desk or table or wherever to remember that. Let's pray. God, you see me clearly. You know me completely. You know when I sit and when I stand. You know where I go and what I say. You even know what I'm thinking and don't say out loud. And yes,
You love me inside out.
You walk in front of me and behind me. You hold out your hand to me and guide me, even when it seems like it's too dark to see a thing. Still, you see me, and yes, you love me inside and out.
You have known me from the beginning. In fact, you put me all together, my body, my mind, heart, and soul. You made me exactly as I am. Fearfully, wonderfully, amazingly awesome. It's all so much, it's almost too hard to understand. Yes, you love me inside out.
if you'd like, we invite you to cross your arms wherever you are. Give yourself a big hug And then take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Amen.
So, one day, Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem with his disciples, and they had to stop through this town called Jericho. There's this guy who's a tax collector guy. His name was Zacchaeus. We'll just call him Zach. Now, nobody back then liked tax collectors because they basically were these people who were hired by the Romans who occupied the area, took over to charge people for their own land. And on top of that, most tax collectors were corrupt. They would charge more money than their bosses even asked for, and then they would take that money for themselves. No, Zach, not to mention it, on top of that, he was, well, really, really short. I mean, everybody made fun of him behind his back. They would make jokes and they would say things like, "Hey, shorty, what you up to today?" And they would sing these like songs like, "And Zacchaeus was a wee little man, and a wee little man was he." I mean, if they had memes back then, they would have done that too. So Zach, I mean, he had already heard of Jesus, and he wanted to know what all the talk was about. So when Jesus was passing through the town, he went to the area of the town where Jesus would be. But when he got there, there was a huge crowd. And he was like, oh, nope. I mean, clearly, the shortness factor. So he went and he found a tree. And he climbed straight up to the top of the tree. And from there, the view was great. And so when Jesus came passing along, the weird thing was he came and stopped right in front of Zacchaeus' tree. He looked straight up, right at Zacchaeus. And in that moment, Zach felt like Jesus was looking right at him, right in his eyes. Like he was looking at his insides, not just his outsides. He didn't laugh at him. He didn't seem mad at him. He didn't seem disappointed, disgusted. No. And before Zach could even grasp that, Jesus said, "Hey, Zach, what you doing up there? I just wanted to go to your house today." And Zach was like, "Okay, awesome." So Jesus went to Zach's house for lunch and they talked and it was awesome. And the people outside, they were like, "What is Jesus doing? Doesn't he know what a jerk this guy is? I mean, doesn't he know what a loser he is?" But by the end of this lunch, something had happened to Zacchaeus. He said to Jesus, "I've decided to give half of everything I own to the poor. And everything that I cheated someone, I'm going to give back. And more." And yes, this is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Make no mistake, I am created in the image and likeness of God. I'm black, I'm gay, and I am loved. But for a long time, I thought God and others couldn't really love me until I became something or someone that I'm not. I got made fun of practically from birth. Because I was a premature baby, I was skinny for the first few years. My cousins and my uncles made jokes about me being too little until I got fat in elementary school. Then they made fun of me for being too big. In school, there were lots of ways I was always too something or not enough. I was too artistic and nerdy and not into sports enough. I've always been tall, and as a black guy, people always expect me to be into football or basketball. What a waste, they would say, when I showed no interest in the games. In high school, the fact that I was a big black guy made me immediately too scary and too dangerous to a lot of people. It made people presume the worst about me. And on top of all that, I was awkward about everything. One day, a kid made fun of me for the way that I waved hello, so I stopped greeting people altogether. And then, while the other guys seemed to be more and more into girls, I found myself having crushes on guys. For years after that, I tried everything to get fixed and get rid of my feelings for guys. By the time I became an adult, I joined a church where the pastor told me I had to marry a woman to go to heaven. Sometimes when we really, really want to please people and please God, we can make some very, very bad choices. I ended up leading people to a church that hurt my friends and me. And I gave up almost everything about me, my school, my car, my family, my creativity, even being gay, because I thought I needed to let those things go so that God would love me. It was a really lonely, hopeless place to be. And sometimes I didn't want to even live anymore. Maybe you've been there, feeling like you just can't get anything right, and that it seems like the world is against you too. When that happens, We get real good at picking the right filters and practicing the new TikTok dances and making sure we have the right poses. But when people ask, we put on that face and they say, "How are you doing?" We say, "Fine." A lot can happen when we really aren't keeping it 100. And if you're anything like me, then you know it hurts. In the story of Zacchaeus, we saw Jesus show up for someone who probably felt lonely like me. Jesus saw him and loved him just as he was. He didn't tell Zach that he had to do a bunch of things first before he could be loved. And that's how Jesus showed up in my life. Through some people that I met who helped me see my relationship with God totally differently. And through books that I read that helped me think about God's love in amazing ways. And seriously, y'all, Jesus showed up just by speaking into my heart. Jesus saw the past and all the stuff that I felt about myself and even the bad stuff that my church said. And Jesus showed up and let me know that I am loved just as I am. Zephaniah 3:17 talks about how God rejoices over us, all of us, with dancing and singing, and God is just that wild about us, about me, about all of me, about my long hair, my brown skin, my big smile, and even my bigger laugh. Finally, I understood. Recognizing God's love for me taught me that I am worthy of love and that God has my back, that we are all loved just as we are. And the cool thing is, knowing I'm loved, I wake up every day feeling a little like Zacchaeus, like I've got another chance to be better than I was the day before.
You gave us these bodies and you called them good. You gave us these bodies and you called them good. We are easily damaged. Have you seen the scars? That's just scratching the surface, more beneath where those are. You gave us these bodies and you called them good. You gave us these bodies and you called them good. May we love them as you do. Let us love them as you do. Inside, outside, through and through. Let us love them as you do. But we do so much damage. Have you seen the scars? We keep hurting each other. Sometimes that's just how we are. You gave us these bodies and you called them good. You gave us these bodies and you called them good. May we love them as you do. Let us love them as you do. Inside, outside, through and through. Let us love them as you do. These bodies, they are fearfully, wonderfully made. Don't believe the lies some say. No, our flesh and bones, our hearts and hands are loved in flesh and bones, our hearts and hands are loved in every way. You gave us these bodies and you called them good. You gave us these bodies and you called them good. May we love them as you do. Let us love them as you do. Inside, outside, through and through. Let us love them as you do. Let us love them as you do.
Sometimes it can seem like prayer is complicated and you're supposed to say certain things in certain ways. Truth is, most prayer boils down to saying thanks to God for the good things in our lives, or asking to be forgiven for the ways we've messed up, and for help forgiving others, and asking for help. Pretty simple, really. And when we can't figure out the words to say, just hanging out in a tree looking for Jesus like Zacchaeus did is a kind of prayer. Today, we've written some of our prayers on pieces of cloth. And like Zach, we've hung them in a tree. Right now, you might want to share some of your prayers in the comments.
Gave us these bodies and you called them gave us these bodies, and you called them good. May we love them as you do. Let us love them as you do. Inside, outside, through and through. Let us love them as you do. Let us love them as you do. As we close out our time today, we wanted to send you out with this blessing. May you go now with the courage to show God's love everywhere, knowing you are loved, you are enough, and you belong. And remember, God is with us, always looking out for us, and saying to us, I got you.
There's nothing you have to say, nothing you have to do, no words you have to pray, no.
I got you when you feel like you're alone. I got you when no one acts like you belong. Oh, I got you when everything feels wrong. I got you, I got you, I got you, going out or coming in, starting off or at the end, whatever you need, whatever you do, I got you, I got you, I got you, I got you, I got you.
We'll see you later this evening. Enjoy yourselves.
Hey friends, thanks so much for showing up one more time. I'm looking forward to seeing you tonight and definitely looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Have a great afternoon. I'll see you tonight.